Right, good morning. My name is Chanel Wickenden and it's now 10:30 and welcome to the Standing Advisory Council for Religious Education meeting on the 2nd of June 2026. The first item on our agenda is to elect a chair for the municipal year. Can I request nominations for the election of chair of the committee for the year, please?
I think Ms. Soni.
Mr. Soni, Vinendra Soni, would like to nominate. Is that correct, Councillor Masood?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any seconder for this matter? Councillor Abood, I can see your hand up, and Councillor Wheeler's hands. Is there any other nominations for election of chair? I can't quite see anything, so you might need to put your hands up if not. I can't see anyone. So therefore I declare that Vinendra Soni is elected chair for the municipal year, and I will hand over the meeting to him.
Thank you, Chanel. Good morning to you all. First of all, I thank you all for putting trust in me. I would do my level best to maintain the high standard of this very important office. Thank you once again, and thank you to Chanel for doing all the background work and guiding me about this meeting today. Without further ado, we move on to agenda item 2, the election of vice chair. Are there any nominations for vice chair of the ensuing year? No, Chanel, I don't see any hands.
I can't see anything anymore. We may roll this over to the next meeting, and if you'd like to move on to agenda item 3.
Okay. Yeah, we go to agenda item 3, apologies for absence. I have received an apology for absence from Joe Bavis. Any other apologies for absence?
We've also had an apology for Nicola Webb.
Yeah.
Does anyone else know of any apologies?
Okay. Okay, Chanel, thank you. In that case, we move to item number 4, minutes of the last meeting. Does the committee approve the minutes of the meeting held on 10th of February 2026 as a correct record and authorize me to sign the minutes?
I can see some nods. So any hands up?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Chanel. I will sign the minutes, whatever way you guide me. I will. Now we move on to agenda item 5, faith tours. Can I ask Satwinder Kaur to provide the presentation, please? Is Satwinder here among us?
Hello, Mr. Soni. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
No, it's a pleasure. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. I've written it down. Is it okay if I just read it from there? Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you again for giving us an opportunity to share the really beautiful work that we're doing at Faith Tours. As you know, it began in 2009 in Queen's Park with Guru Nanak Gurdwara Bedford, Gulshan-e-Baghdad Mosque and All Saints Church. And the aim was simple but powerful: to give children and adults the opportunity to learn about Sikhism, Islam and Christianity through direct experience, meeting real people in real places of worship than just only learning in the classroom. The 3 venues are all within walking distances of each other, creating a wonderful opportunity for schools to explore 3 major world faiths in a single visit. An important additional benefit is that visitors get to see us working together in friendship and cooperation, providing a strong example of community cohesion and the mutual understanding we have between one another and should have. Tours run on Tuesdays and Wednesdays during term time, with each visit including a guided tour of the building, a presentation on the faith, and opportunities for children and teachers to ask questions with a short walk between each place of worship. Children do always remain the responsibility of the teachers throughout the tour. Since Faith Tours has actually began in 2009, it's grown considerably, and last academic year we delivered 78 days. We delivered 153 tours with 875 adults and 6,670 children, demonstrating the continuing valuing schools place on the experience. Many schools travel considerable distances across over an hour each way, which is about a 50-mile radius. So it's a blessed service, and there's a team of 17 of us. So between the 3 places of worship, and we try to get together termly to have a get together and discuss anything that may come up between personal visits and also through our evaluation forms, which are now done online, as we had a administration little system put in place in 2025, and that's been running a treat. So the cost of the tours is divided in 4 to go to each place of worship, and the administration side, which is actually myself. And that's basically it. If anyone has any questions or anything.
Yeah. Are there any questions for Satwinder, please? Yeah. I just have to contribute, Satwinder. It's a way I've done these tours quite few times, but not with the children, but on adults. They are very good way of knowing the community and the faith so closely, visiting all the places of worship. So, Satwinder, I thank you. And we
can I add on this one, please?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, Council. Yes, sure, Council.
I'm the councillor of the area, and I've started in 2009, and I was on the chair of that mosque as well, the ones mentioned. And the thing is this, we had a lot of emails from people that their children they didn't even know themselves what's going on behind the door. So what we done this tour for everybody, even the police, even the colleges and universities, everyone to come in. So this is where it started, and it worked quite a lot, because even the children knows now what they do, what Muslims do, what the Sikhs do, and what the Christians do. So this was the basic knowledge for them, that there's nothing hidden behind the door, everything is open. So this has helped quite a lot. We had a lot of emails at that time coming out that this is a very good thing you people have done. So all 3 places we got together and we started all this. So since then, it's been running really good. So I think it's really good idea it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Muhammad Masood. Yes, any more contributions or comments, please?
Sorry, I just wanted to mention thank you to the SACRE subsidy, and we're able to offer local schools within Bedford Borough a lower rate of £150 per tour, whereas other schools pay £200. So that does really help bring the locals in and gives them children an opportunity to see that as well.
Thank you, Satwinder.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
No, we are very grateful to you. Thank you very much. I don't see any more hands going up for any more comments. So thank you, Satwinder, once again. Now we move on to agenda item number 6.
Sorry, I think Brian had a question.
Sure.
He's on mute at the moment, though.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, whatever if you want to.
I still can't hear anything.
We can hear you. I thought it was Brian that had a question, but he looked like he's had his hands up. Is that, yeah? He needs to turn off his mute and then he can come and ask his question.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I think he's saying it's not working, the sound, he can't get it off mute.
Okay, Shannon, yeah. Shall we wait or shall we go ahead to the item 6, Shannon? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can
Yes.
hear Brian now.
Oh, great. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know it's not in Bedford Borough, but Luton Synagogue is also available to take people, and I give talks and tours around the small synagogue. So if anybody wants to come to see a synagogue, we're always open and available. Just let me know.
Sorry,
Thank
can
you.
I just put in there if we could have the details of that, we could share that with the teachers on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a school coming Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, and I do loads of talks. They're always available. Just
Thank you so
I
much.
need some details.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank
if you
you.
want to just pass them to me, Graham, Brian, I can pass them on to Satvinder.
Will do. Thank you.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, Brian and Satvinder again. Any
Thank
more?
you so much.
Any more comments, contributions on this item? Please raise your hand if you have any. Otherwise, we move on to next item. I don't see any hands going up. Yeah. So we move on to item 6. That is called RE or Religious Education Today. Can I ask Ian Nicholson to provide the presentation, please?
Yep, thank you for that one. Yeah, very much. Thank you for inviting me along. It's good to see everybody for the first time today. Chanel sent around the written update, but I have some more to add on to that one since. And I know that Dr. Parker will talk about the NASACRE conference that we were both at 2 weeks ago, so I'll leave elements from that one. The first update is actually more around the proposed national curriculum in RE. The Task and Finish group led by Vanessa Ogden reported to Bridget Phillipson with a draft programme of study for the new national curriculum on the 26th of March. So that has now been presented to Bridget Phillipson, and there were 4 working parties aligned with this one of which was the teacher reference group led by NATRE, the National Association of Teachers of RE, and they have sent a letter of support for a national curriculum in RE. Group 2 was known as the Religion and Belief Group, and that was led by Sarah Lane Court, and that was representative of religious organisations and belief organisations around the UK. So, for example, Anna Silver from the Board of Deputies was a member of that group. I was a member of that group. Humanists UK were a member of that group. The Muslim Council of Britain were there as well. Many of the organisations involved in that have also sent letters of support for RE going into the national curriculum. We are awaiting a decision from the DFE at the moment. It's interesting that when King Charles gave his opening of Parliament speech, he mentioned an SEND and standards bill. And there is some discussion that there is a possibility that RE, which would require a legal change, would therefore need to be in the King's speech. And it could be part of the SEND and standards bill, but we're not sure when that will be announced. What we do know is the new national curriculum in its entirety will be in schools by Easter 2027. And schools will be first teaching the new national curriculum from the 1st of September 2028. I've been on the CFSA, the Committee for Subject Associations, and the DFE in our meetings have reiterated that they want to keep to that timeline. So it could be that if RE goes into the national curriculum, the proposed programme of study, which has been sent to Bridget Phillipson, would be sent out to schools then. It's interesting as well, and this is in my written report, that the government have sent out a paper on community cohesion, and RE is explicitly mentioned, as is the role of SACRES. And we do know that DFE are looking at the RE curriculum and moving forward, that if there is a consensus upon interested groups, and one of the other groups that looked at the new national curriculum was led by Charles Clarke, the former Home Secretary, looking at what changes would need to be made to law. But the idea is if there was a consensus for RE in the national curriculum, it would go in, and therefore that would replace the locally agreed syllabus. However, the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government, hopefully I've got that in the right order, they are looking at the role of SACRAs, and they are very keen on SACRAs continuing in some form, whether if there is a national curriculum, to look at the idea of how they can look at standards in RE in local schools and providing that support for schools, seeing RE as a really interesting or really key tool for social cohesion. So the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government are looking at the role of SACRAs, and SACRAs are named in this government report. And within my written report, I've put the hyperlink in through to the report. And there's also an infographic available about what's in there that is aligned to that as well. But SACRAs are seen as being that tool for social cohesion, so that children can learn about the communities they live in to aid them to live in modern British life. And that's a really key thing. And we do know that the Ministry of Housing is looking now at what SACRA reports will be. And I've got a meeting with Bill Moore on the 29th of June. Bill Moore is the chair of the National Association of SACRAs. He and I are meeting, and we're going to be looking at what the new SACRA report will look like from September, which has really been driven by the Ministry of Housing. So SACRAs are really high on the government agenda at the moment, as is RE. And they are being seen as a really key tool for that one. And as part of my report, I put in about Nicky McGee's review of Ofsted reports. And I've been asked by a local authority in the southeast to look at their Ofsted reports, and 83% of their Ofsted reports have mentioned RE across the local authority since February. Now, this is including schools that would normally have a Section 48 inspection, so schools of a religious character, so would normally have Catholic Inspection Service or a SIAMS inspection. RE is also being mentioned in their Ofsted report under the personal well-being comment. And I'm seeing some very strong commentary in Ofsted reports about where RE is not strong enough in enabling children to take their place in the modern British society, which goes very much with the social cohesion agenda we're hearing about from the government at the moment. So there really is this element of this one. And there are schools where the grading for the personal well-being, the well-being development comment, has been reduced where RE has not been strong enough. And previously, a school in the southeast last year under the old inspection framework, actually it was mentioned in their report that because the school did not have RE for every pupil, it was failing to have a statutory curriculum. So there is a real focus at the moment on RE in the personal well-being comment rather than the curriculum and teaching comment. But it's really strange that RE is really being pushed forward in those areas, and schools are being looked at where they're putting RE into form periods, or they're doing it as a drop-down day rather than as a cohesive curriculum. So really are pushing around this new agenda going forward. And around that, NASACRE are putting some more training on, and they've worked with the RE Council and Deborah Weston, who is the projects officer and research officer for the National Association of Teachers of RE. They've put together a document for councillors in Committee D, where we've just had elections, to explain the role of the SACRE, to really say its statutory responsibilities. But the national policy paper really is strong on the future of the SACRE. They don't want to see SACREs disappear. And Vanessa Ogden, who has led the task and finish group for the new national curriculum, absolutely adores SACREs. You know, I think that's great. I was chair of my own SACRE in Manchester for 13 years, so I'm really happy about that. So I was chair of Trafford SACRE. Also, at the moment, there is a survey out there for primary school colleagues, because one thing that the DFE are asking for is evidence of how RE is being delivered in the curriculum. And I do know that all SACREs have been contacted to send through documentation to the DFE for Bridget Phillipson on the amount of time specified in an agreed syllabus for RE, because it's something that they're really keen to say that RE has a fundamental basis within the curriculum. and it's a really important subject. So there is a NATRE survey for primary school teachers on how much time they're given, but also how much training they're given. In the last survey, 48% of RE teachers nationally had not had any professional training in 5 years in RE. So the government are keen to look at a training package should we become a national curriculum subject as well. I've also put in there for schools the Jewish Culture Month that the Board of Deputies have been working on, where national institutions and local institutions are supporting children in schools and the public to understand the role and the important impact that Judaism has had within the country. So that's going on now until the 16th of June. And it's been going on, it's a whole month around those areas. But jewishculturemonth.org.uk is a website where schools can go alongside and look at those. And I've met with the Board of Deputies to talk about how we as an organisation can work with schools to get involved in that one. There's also still some funding available for secondary schools for Christianity resources from the Jerusalem Trust. They are keen to support the teaching of Christianity in schools. So secondary schools have got till the end of the term to apply for their funding, but primary schools, they've run out of money for primary schools because loads of primary schools always apply, secondaries don't. But there will be new funding around for schools in September. So anybody working in schools, knows anybody in schools, passing that information on that there's actually a £600 grant available. You know, as a head of RE before I became a deputy head and a head teacher, I'd been quite happy with the £600 in my budget many years ago. And I'm sure my business manager would love that one as well. There's also coming up shortly as well a new round of West Hill Sacre Awards. They'll be coming out shortly for any Sacres who wish to apply for funding to develop a project. For example, Wokingham Sacre developed a Real Voices project, speaking to members of the community within Wokingham from different religions and non-religious worldviews, because one of the key elements of the new national curriculum, Strand 4, is looking like religion locally, global, nationally and globally. And the idea is that that will mean that actually RE in Key Stage 1, 2, 3 and 4 will need to look at RE within Bedford and taking it out further. So the idea is that children would recognise where religion is in their locality. So it was great to hear about all the visits, all the visits you've had to the Gurdwara and to the mosque and the offer for the synagogue. I used to take my children to as many places of worship as I could when I was in school. So that is also a really key thing that's being pushed forward, is that actually looking at religion in the locality. So Bedford Sacre supporting that is really at the forefront of the work there as well. One of the other areas that's coming through at the moment as well, as I say, is NASACRE. I've got lots of training available, and also Interfaith Week, which really does support the work of the Sacre, and Interfaith Week is mentioned within the Cohesive Society policy document from the government, will be in November this year. And so the idea is at the moment, I'll put a link into the materials that Chanel sent around for you all as to where you can register your groups interested in being involved in that one. And there's also a schools element of it where there are resources for children to learn about the importance of in our society and the religious makeup of our society. So those are all available in there. But it really is an interesting time at the moment, because alongside the national curriculum, there's now a memorandum of understanding amongst the GCSE and A-level boards to review GCSE and A-level religious studies as well, because alongside the new national curriculum, which will be first teaching 1st of September 2028, there'll be new GCSEs from either September 2029 or September 2030, and there'll be new A-levels from 2030 or 2031. So in the next few years, there'll be a really big curriculum change. We're just waiting to hear, and I'll say this, we've heard it could be any time soon whether RE would then go into national curriculum, and that, but the government are waiting to hear if that consensus is there. But from a lot of the groups I've worked with, the faith groups that I work with closely, and the teachers associations, there has been a real push for a national curriculum in RE to secure our place in the curriculum. So it's really hoping to do that on. And one thing as well that it will support is that it will then help, we hope, increase teacher recruitment, because there is a meeting on the 10th of June of initial teacher educators from universities and SCITs, because there's been a 20% decrease in people applying to become RE teachers next year. So we're hoping to develop a program to build that one, and if we are a national curriculum subject, to get more specialists teaching it. Because in our survey last year, 81% of secondary schools have at least one teacher who is not an RE specialist teaching the subject. And that is impacting on the quality of RE as well. So hopefully that was a long update. And I'm sorry, I do talk a lot. I was a teacher for 32 years, so it's what we do. And as a head teacher for 4, so certainly know how to talk a lot.
Any questions for Ian, please? Raise your hands, and if anybody wants to ask Ian any questions. I don't see hands going up, but that Ian, from me, thank you for giving such a detailed information and all the development in the right direction from 2027 and 28. All are being very important for A levels and GCSEs. Is absolutely brilliant news for everyone. Thank you on behalf of everyone. I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very welcome, Ian. Thank you. And without further ado, I move on to agenda number 7, that is National Sacre Conference. And can I ask Dr. Ryan Parker to give us the update on this conference, please?
Thank you, Virendra. Very happy to. Very usefully this year, it's the first time I've been to an Sacre conference that afterwards they provide a summary of the day. So what I've done is I've just brought that out. I've distilled it to give you the main points of the day. And just to say, my 7-month-old is currently going through quite a meaty sleep regression. So sorry if I don't make sense at any stage. I won't mention about Deborah Weston's update of the curriculum and assessment review, because Ian's already done a stellar job in giving an overview and an update for us there. But I'll just give the basic thrust of the 2 keynotes of the day. The first one is from Vanessa Ogden, who is chairing and leading that task and finish group. And she was talking about rejoicing in difference. She suggested that there's a nation building role that schools have, which is also very reflective of their local communities, economics, politics, transport, etc., as well as wider geopolitics. This nation building role is really important for schools and is vitally important given social fault lines that are exposed by anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hostility. We must respond in a way which is active and faces these threats down. And Vanessa went on to say that Sacres have a vital role here. They support high quality, academic, rigorous religious education, which provides a rich knowledge of diversity and difference across religious and non-religious worldviews. They enable encounters and engagement with communities and places of worship. And that Sacres are also leaders of place. They model how to live well together in a particular place and time. Great RE, supported by Sacres, builds pupils' confidence in their identity, belief, and self-expression. Understanding your own involvement in the beliefs you hold and own can really lead to high levels of well-being and feeling positive about difference and diversity, as you have your own voice and can use it. She closed by saying that she has a real strong vision for a society which rejoices in pluralism and diversity. It embraces human reciprocity and rejects the harms of hate, bringing people together. It contributes to a unified, confident, resilient, democratic nation, able to withstand world changes and remain true to its values. She spoke about a way of seeing this as through the idea of one song, with many voices in harmony. This is tied to the mission of helping to build a better society. And Professor Ogden then said, thank you so much to Sacres, all who support them and all they do and contribute in this manner. And the second keynote of the day was focusing on connection over division. And this was from Amy Ark, who is the Senior Programme Manager for Schools from the Faith and Belief Forum. So Amy gave the basic thrust and overview of the Faith and Belief Forum's work in schools, universities and communities, encouraging and enabling positive encounters across all ages and stages. They have an interfaith approach with anti-racist approaches built in. And so she spoke about the methodology and the workshops and the initiatives that the Faith and Belief Forum offer. They're motivated by the sense that when pupils come together and work together in a positive way, they are less likely to be unkind to each other. A lot of behaviours often come from fear and misunderstanding, so we must recognise this and address this. And so finally, she mentioned, well, why is RE the place to support this? Well, it directly studies belief systems, explores identity in a meaningful way, builds empathy and respect, develops critical thinking skills, teaches how to navigate difference, and connects to real world issues. So that, colleagues, is an overview of the NASICA conference. If anyone's interested in having a more detailed overview of the keynotes and speakers, I'd be very happy to circulate that round to you.
Thank you. Any questions for Dr. Ryan Parker, please? Please raise your hand if you have any questions for Dr. Ryan Parker. No? Dr. Parker, that's very impressive. I'm very impressed that so much is happening at national level in Sacre. It's definitely a positive movement and in the right direction. And I'm sure it will develop further and do good for Sacre and eventually for the nation, and not only schools, but eventually for the nation. Thank you once again. We are grateful to you, Dr. Parker, Ryan Parker. And without further ado, I move to agenda item 8, that's school visits. May I ask Vicky Hayward to provide an update on this matter? Vicky Hayward, please.
Thank you ever so much. Yes, so we've got a school, I know Chanel sent an email out, who's offered for us to, not all of us, 3 or 4 of us to come in and observe collective worship. The children are actually going to be doing an assembly or collective worship themselves. This is on the 16th of June. And it'll be in the morning. Jo, unfortunately, it's at Carlton. Jo isn't able to attend. She sent her apologies. So I can't pin down the exact time at the moment, but I will get it to you as soon as possible. I know Sebastian has expressed an interest in attending that. We're looking for a couple more people if you'd like to join us to visit a school. And then next academic year, we're trying to get more schools, secondaries and primaries, to let us come in as a Sacre to observe. It could be lessons, it could be looking at books, it could be a collective worship, it could be anything the school wants. They get to choose. But yes, so that's the 16th of June. That's a couple of weeks' time, and it'll be in the morning. Kate, is that you saying you'd be interested?
Yeah, I'd be happy to attend.
Brilliant, that's great. So that's 3 of us. So I'll get the details out. And if anyone else is interested, please feel free to email Chanel and she'll pass that on to me. And then at the next meeting, we'll feed back on what this visit was like, what we saw, and all the good bits that we hopefully will see and enjoy. Thank you. That's all for me.
Okay. Any questions for Vicky Hayward? Please raise your hands if you want to ask. She has already offered you a visit, and there has been offers, and she has made a note of it, which is very good. More of us need to support Vicky and the school visits. So thank you, Vicky, once again for working hard on school visits.
We do have a hand up from Irim.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, hiya. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Vicky. Yeah, Vicky says yes.
Yeah. We'd be happy to host the Sacre at Biddenham International School.
That's brilliant. Thank you ever so much. I'll be in contact to sort dates.
Yeah, let me know. We'd be more than happy to host because a secondary school would be good, I think, just to see how it differs to primary.
That'd be perfect. Thank you ever so much.
Yes.
No
Good
worries.
idea. Okay, any more questions to Vicky, please?
Is that a new hand up from Kate, or is that an old?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a new one, just to say that Ursula Taylor, we'd be more than happy to host in the future as well, if needed.
There you are, Vicky. Some help.
This is brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, any more comments or contributions?
Sorry, can I
questions?
just have a minute? Bedford Free School in Bedford have actually sent an email over asking if somebody could join them on their Culture Day, which is on the 29th of June. So if there is anybody that would like to get in touch with that as well, if they would like to contact Bedford Free School, and I think speak to Mr. Lewis, they would love to give you further information on that. And I would love to attend the 16th of June. I'm actually doing the face tour that day. So.
Thank you. I'm sure
But all the best.
Vicky has made a note of it. Also, Chanel will circulate in the minutes. Yeah, that will.
I will try and get hold of Mr. Lewis and find out the details and send those around to members.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any more hands up for asking questions? I don't see. Without further delay, we go to agenda item 9, that is correspondence. Can I come to you, Chanel, for any update on that?
Yes, I was just going to go through some of the items that we've had. Obviously, we've had some details from NASCRA. We've got 2 members are about to attend a course on So You've Joined Your Local SACRA. That's all being distributed through to you. We've also had some correspondence from Ian and through RE today, so that's all gone through. And obviously we've had some contact from the Bedford Council of Faiths, and they've been doing some webinars that we've sent information through to members and to some of our RE contacts in schools where it's relevant. Sometimes it's a bit above the school level, so we have sent some of those round to you. And that's pretty much it on correspondence. I'm not sure if anyone had any questions on that. I did see something from Ryan, but I don't know what that was in the chat. School, oh yeah. School speakers can be found here. That's lovely. Sorry, I'll forward that round, Ryan, for Bedford Free School. Yeah, and I think that's it from correspondence. Charles.
Yeah, could I just say I've had a few requests passed on to you from you, Chanel, for schools who want to build up their list of school speakers, which I've responded and go through the Humanist UK channel. Was that a result of initiative from us?
We sent out a primary school. We sent out a primary school survey. And one of the questions was, what can we do more for you? And yes, they kept coming back saying, we'd like contacts. So yes, we'll obviously probably report back on that at the next meeting. So yes.
Thanks.
And thank you for those that did respond.
Any more contributions or questions to Chanel, please, on this correspondence? No, I don't see any hands going up. So I move on to agenda number 10, membership. Again, Chanel, please update us on the membership, how you want to go about it. Yeah.
No problem. Obviously, SACRA members are normally signed up for 5 years. And we have had some members obviously here that have been here longer than 5 years, and we need to reappoint them to them. They've all put their hands up and said they'd like to stay on for us. So at the end, we'll just need to have a quick confirmation hands up. So that would be for SACRA members, Charles Bailey, Ryan Parker, Rachel Gleeson, Becky Lovesley and Verenda Sonny. And we've also had 2 resignations, and they are from Sarah Bush and from Nikki Webb. So we need to just agree those. And I noticed that Chris Stamp is with us, and I will contact you later, Chris, because we do need to reappoint you as well. But I know that you've not been available recently, so I will get back in contact with Chris on that one, and hopefully we can see if he'd like to stay on. So it would be just hands up for members if you agree for the membership updates. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
Hmm.
Thank you very
Any-
much.
Yeah. Thank you. Are there any questions? I know already Chanel has asked. Any questions for Chanel on membership? No. I think no, I don't see any hands going up. So thank you, Chanel, for your contribution on this topic of membership update. We move on to item 11, that is the news. So from members have any updates they would like to share, please raise your hands, and then that will be we'll take in turns if there are more than one. Anyone wants to update us on their?
We have Charles wants an update. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it was on
Sorry,
membership.
not an update as such, but a request for an update. The workshops on reviewing the existing syllabus, finding ways of improving commentaries on it, and so on. It doesn't seem to have been one yet that we've been invited to. Is that scheme still alive?
Yeah.
Is that my schools workshops, Charles?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Because our RE Today person left and they were running those sessions for us, they've not
Yeah.
happened. But now we've got Ian. They're going to be starting up again in the October term. So yes, they've been on pause, but thankfully, sort of October time is when we're going to start again with the schools. So yes, you will get an invite to those.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Charles and Vicky. Anyone else? Please contribute towards this news update. I don't see any hands going up. Thank you, Vicky and Charles. Now we go to agenda number 12, item number 12, future meetings. The next online meeting of SACRE is on 13th of October. I'm sure you will be reminded again in the minutes, 26th, and the spring meeting will be held on 23rd of February 2027. If there are any questions, you can ask Chanel directly about it. Is that okay with you, Chanel? Yeah. Any other questions on meeting dates? Anyone? It will be circulated. So no, I don't see any hands going up. In that case, that concludes the business of today, and I thank you all for your attendance, and I declare this meeting closed. And the next meeting is on 13th of October 2026. And have a nice day, and thank you very much for giving your time and attention. Greatly appreciate it. Bye bye for now. Yeah.